Girls Night Live. We're so happy you're here with us this afternoon. This program is brought to you by Sisterly Love Collective. We're in partnership with them, and they are an alliance of women restaurateurs and food entrepreneurs across the city of Philadelphia. They are incredible women, and they are working together to promote their sustainable access. And if you want to learn more about them, you can visit them at sisterlylovephilly.com. But for today, I'm thrilled to be working with this woman. Not only is she a specialist and 20 years of experience in the fashion industry, food, fitness, and faith are words that she uses and lives by. And she is the real women's stylist. But I have to say, she is also a host on Girls Night Live, and we have the pleasure and thrill of working with her every single week. And she gets a thrill out of having women confident and taking selfies for the very first time when they feel beautiful. This woman, she is beautiful inside and out. A warm welcome again to Girls Night Live, Isha Casagrande.
Hello, everyone. Happy Thirsty Thursday. We couldn't have planned this on a better day. How is everyone today? I'm trying to get it where I can see you all. There we go. All right, so happy Thirsty Thursday. I've been with you a lot this week, and I love being with you. So hi, everybody. I will tell you, I'm in San Diego, and it's about 82 degrees here today. So warm. I know, some of you are like, we don't even care, right? But it's also 1 o'clock in the afternoon for me. So happy hour starting early today. So this could get just a little crazy. But today, Galentine's Day cocktails. I'm going to share a few of my favorites and even how you can turn one of them into a mocktail. And then I'm going to show you how to get ready. And if you have a date, or even maybe if you have a date with yourself and you just want to up it a little bit. Because I don't know about you, I have really been trying to get out of the comfy clothes at home and put on the nicer clothes, right? So we're going to start with the cocktails in just a minute, but what I want to ask you first is, what do you think the sexiest thing a woman can put on? Is anyone brave enough to give me a comment? Anybody at all? The sexiest thing a woman can put on is confidence. And the first step in finding your confidence is having, lingerie, I like it. Her smile, I love that one. It's posture. Okay, smiles right up there with posture. But I want to show you guys just a quick tip because this is such a fun one. And I actually do this on my own every once in a while. I used to train models all over the world. I actually worked for a couple seasons with America's Next Top Model, and they would send the girls in to work with me. And I will tell you, my posture has gotten pretty bad since I've been home so much. So this is something I do on a regular basis. So I want you all to take a big breath. Those of you that I can see you in the picture, you didn't take a breath. I can see when you get taller. And I'm just going to go up against my refrigerator here. You're not going to be able to see my feet, but you can find a wall anywhere. And this is, you're just going to stand against it. You're going to press your heels just real lightly against it, your backside lightly against it, and your shoulder blades. So I'm not out like this. I'm not rounded over. I'm just right here. And you take a big breath. And you walk away, and that is your perfect posture. And I guarantee you it's different than what you think your good posture is. But doesn't it make a difference when a woman walks into a room like this versus this, right? So that's how we're going to start our sexy time, our beautiful time. But yes, I agree. Smile is right next on the list, because do any of you drive around in your car and just put a smile on your face instead of road raging? I definitely try there. All right. So who's thirsty? Let's do this. If you guys have questions, Shelly is going to work with me because I'm not a professional bartender, but I am a professional drinker. All right. So I come from Napa, born and raised. My dad and his wife are winemakers there, and then grew up really in Reno, my adult life, which Reno, we love to drink there. Now I'm in San Diego, and I'm on here with you guys all the time real early when you're all on the East Coast. So the day drinking thing's been fun for me. So we are going to start with a citrus sangria. Now, you guys, I actually tonight have a wine tasting here at my house. So I'm actually going to make a full pitcher of this, but anytime you're working with sparkling, it's something you don't want to make a whole lot of until you're ready to serve it, because you'll lose your bubbles. I am the bubble queen. You see that? That's my champagne bell. People send me these all the time. They're all over the house. I even have one next to my bed that I just ring sometimes in the morning. So the citrus sangria, I'm just going to make one glass for me and show you how to do it. And I know sometimes it's hard to get citrus right now. So hopefully everybody, if anybody, is anybody making these with me? Anybody? Okay, so I am just going to take a champagne glass. Obviously you need to have everything cold for this. If I was making this in like a punch bowl, you would want to pour everything in it. So I am going to just use, and I just went, you know what I love to do? I love to go to Trader Joe's. If you have a Trader Joe's in your area, they have such inexpensive wines and their staff is so knowledgeable that it's such a great place to try new things. And you're not spending a lot of money, so you can find some favorites. So this is just a Cava Brut. It's out of Spain. So I'm just going to pour half of this, where actually I would pour the whole bottle in. And with this, I'm not going to put ice in this. If you had it in the punch bowl, you could do the ringed ice. And I thought of that right before I started here. So a little tip for you on the ringed ice. If you have a bundt cake pan, put a little water in it. You could put, like this recipe calls for rosemary and citrus. You could put a little rosemary in there, freeze it, put a little more water, put your next layer. If you want to put some sliced lemons, put some more water on it, put it back in the fridge so that you get that layering thing instead of it all clumping in one area. It makes it more fun when it all melts. So I'm just going to do half. These are big glasses, so maybe I don't need to fill it up all the way. And then this one calls for Moscato. So what I chose to do, I know in the recipe it says to do a sweet sparkling. I'm not a huge fan on super sweet drinks, and I'll talk to you through this a couple of times. Moscato's super sweet. It's a dessert sparkling, okay? So it is, it's great in like small doses. It is really nice to have it sometimes, but it's hard to have a big glass of it because it's filling, because it has a lot of sweetness to it. And this is so great. They had this CeraVe with a screw cap, which is amazing for sparkling. And it was like $5 at Trader Joe's. So I'm just going to open this, and you can see, can you see all the fun bubbles? Can you see down here? Can you see them? So I'm going to add some of that. And then I'm going to add, I probably should have put my fruit in there first. So I am lucky here in San Diego. We can literally walk the neighborhood and just pick fruit off of trees. Citrus right now, everything's blooming right now. So what I do, sometimes we have so much that I wind up juicing it and I have it in the fridge so that when I need it. So these, oh, I can't remember the name of them. It's a grapefruit that's not sweet at all. Okay, so it's a grapefruit that's not sweet at all, but then I grabbed a pink grapefruit that I could use for the garnish so that I get that difference in there. They're big yellow ones, but it's not a traditional one. I think it starts with an M. Does anybody know?
Not pomelo, not those.
No, but something like that. Maybe it'll come to me before we go. So here's the thing is if we're making this, I'm just looking at like for a single, you would dump, I think we have the measurements in the actual recipes that we're posting in there. So I'm just going to do a little splash. I don't want to do too much. So now it's kind of like a mimosa with some different flavors, right? And then I'm going to add some grapefruit right in here, a lemon slice, and then mint. If you take the mint and pull it off, you're going to get more out of it. But you have to kind of like the mint. Oh, wait, never mind. Take the mint out. Mint out. Rosemary. So rosemary, when you're working with rosemary, so this would be fun to put in your, I think I said that on the ice side. So rub it before you put it in, okay? Because that's going to get all the scent of it and all the smell of it. And then you just stick it right in there and look at how beautiful and how easy this is. So you could make a big batch of this. But again, you can tell bubbles will go away super fast. So any questions on this so far, Shelly?
I think you're getting, it's a beautiful day in San Diego.
It is.
And that people are saying that they love you. You're like the best friend they never had. So
love that.
They're in there. Okay, here's one. What kinds of liquor and mixers should you have on hand for spontaneous cocktail get together? Any suggestions?
So I think, if you're somebody who likes to drink, it's funny because it seems like there's people that really like clear alcohols. And then there's people that like the darker alcohols. So it kind of comes down to your preference too. But I kind of feel like if you have either a gin or a vodka in your house, right, just in case. And what's nice anymore is you can buy small bottles, right? So you don't have to have giant bottles. You don't have to go to Costco and buy the big bottles, right? You can have little bottles because sometimes the big bottles we get in trouble. And then you can have like a whiskey and a dark rum, depending on what it is that you like. So what I like to do, I go into Pinterest and I just search for recipes. I have a board that's like, I call it happy hour. And so when I know that I'm going to be entertaining or going into a new season, I like to go in there and go, okay, which recipes have ingredients that I could have on hand all the time, right? That you just know, like, oh, we always have orange juice in the house, or, oh, we always drink grapefruit juice, or, we always have margarita mix because we like margaritas. And here's a little tip for you. We call them Isharitas around here, vodka margaritas. So we blend our margaritas with vodka and they're dangerously amazing, but so good. So, I think that's really the thing. And same thing with wines. I'm from Napa too, where it's funny. I used to love Chardonnays, and now I totally love the Sauv Blancs. I don't like the real heavy, oaky Chardonnays anymore, but we have people on both sides of the fence. So if you have people coming over, it's really great to go. And again, like Trader Joe's is really great. I don't know what all of you have in the different areas that you're at, but ask questions like, hey, what's maybe a good Chardonnay that's middle of the road that could make everybody happy? And then it's easier for you when you're entertaining. The same with the reds, right? And reds, it really depends on what you're cooking. So if you're cooking something really heavy, you normally can get away with a heavier red, but not everybody likes that. So you kind of have to look at what kind of foods you have going along. This is wonderful. Is anybody making these with me?
I don't know, but that looks fabulous. I wish we were in San Diego too.
I wish I would have made the whole bowl. We could have been drinking it together.
Yes, we could have. Next time. Suzanne saying she's adding that category to Pinterest. She loves that idea.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I get lost in Pinterest. I love it.
Here's a side question that got fed to me. TD wants me to ask you, should I move to San Diego or Los Angeles? So now we're getting travel information.
San Diego, for sure. I think I'm really not a city girl. And it's funny because I come from Reno, like Napa, which is a small town, and then Reno, which is the biggest little city. San Diego, LA, all of Southern California, it's so big and there's so many people that I think I'd have a hard time more living in the city kind of life, where I think San Diego, we live close to the beach, so it's a little bit more laid back vibe. It's still a lot of people. So I think it kind of comes down to what you like. But yeah, I do. As somebody else I see saying, not even an option. San Diego's the best town. It's great. I'm actually in Encinitas. So I'm in the North Counties, about 20 miles from San Diego, but with traffic, sometimes that could take a really long time. All right, pomegranate punch. So you have the recipe for a pomegranate punch. This is something I do with cooking. If I can't find what I need, I just put something else in place. All right. So I could not find pomegranates today. They just kind of went out of season here. I use them. We got a lot of them. So we get farm boxes delivered to us each week. And so I got really good at learning how to peel them and how to juice them. So we'll have to do that another time. But what I did have was blackberries, because blackberries are a big thing here. So I'm going to do this just a little bit different. So this would be a pomegranate punch. I'm actually going to make it more on the blackberry side. Now, it is a punch. If you take out the vodka and the Prosecco, really with the ginger ale, pomegranate juice, simple syrup, the fresh mint, and if you had the pomegranates, you can just add some sparkling water. Okay, that's the perfect way to make some of these punches. Take out the alcohol and then just add some sparkling water on top. Have any of you heard of Topo Chico? Anybody? I think it's more of a West Coast thing. If you ever see Topo Chico, it's the best sparkling water ever. I'll show you. This is what it looks like. And it's so super sparkling that it's totally different. It's just totally different. So it's a really good one. So for now, I'm going to have to muddle some blackberries. Has anybody ever tried to make blackberry juice? This is what happens to it. Listen, I just don't worry. If things don't work out, whoops. Is anybody else like, oh God, she has to give us exact measurements. We can't handle this, right? We did on a girls' night live, we had a private group once and they had me do cocktails. And I was like, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And they were like, well, we need specifics. And I'm like, oh, come on, just do this, do that. And they're like, we're all scientists. We don't even know how to do it like that. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so glad that I didn't know that before I started talking because I would have been intimidated. But guess what? They tried new things, and that's what this is all about. All right, so I just put blackberries in here. I tried to juice them earlier. This is the recipe that has mint. So since I'm gonna muddle this, and all muddling is you're kind of crushing it all up together. I'm gonna save a little bit on the outside. You're just kind of mushing it all up together to create the juice. And what's really nice is when you put mint in here, like mojitos are made this way, it just infuses the, I hope you can't hear this. This is what happens when you just try something new. It's okay. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I can't wait to get to the chocolate martini. All right, so what I'm going to do here is I am taking 1 ounce. I'm going to get a cold glass here. I do love to keep all my glasses in the freezer, the heavier ones. So this is a great one for a cocktail like this. So I'm just doing the single dose one. So I have 1 ounce vodka. I have half an ounce of simple syrup, and simple syrup is super easy to make yourself. All it is water and sugar. I don't know if we have that in there, but it is, I think it's equal parts. It is equal parts. And you just let it boil for a few minutes. You stir it until the sugar dissolves, and then you let it sit. So you can make your own simple syrup, and it will last for a long time in your fridge. Now, here's the fun thing is if you wanted some with rosemary in it, you can boil your rosemary in it and then just strain it out. If you want to do it with strawberries, you can do it with strawberries. You can really put anything into it. I do it with lavender to make some bee's knees cocktails, whatever you want to do, but it makes it really nice. But simple syrup is sweet, and I'm not a huge sweet fan. Okay, so I'm using a little bit less, and it's kind of one of those things you just kind of have to find your rhythm and what it is that you like. So I have that in there. I'm going to add half a cup of my sparkling.
Isha, while you're doing this, they're asking what's your Pinterest handle? We don't have that information.
It's Isha Inspired. So yeah, you can go to, everything's Isha Inspired, and it's all over the place there, but there's all kinds of stuff. Does anybody else feel like when you found Pinterest, it was like, oh my gosh, everything that was ever in my head actually is there? Yeah, so Isha Inspired. Isha Casagrande too, but I'm more active at this one. Okay, so now, because this is thicker, I thought I'd be able to strain it, but I'm not going to be able to. So what I'm going to do, since we're ad-libbing.
That's the best.
I do this with wardrobing too, so, okay. So I have these thicker. Do this could be a disaster. We'll see. I should have put it in first. I'm going to do this. So, you know what? And here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. Welcome to my crazy. This is how it goes with me. I am going to take this muddled. Okay, so you can see here's what it looks like. You see that? So if you don't like chunky stuff, you may not like this. So I'm going to put it in here, and now I'm just going to pour what I just made on top of this. So it's going to move it a little bit. It's really cold. And you just have to be patient with champagne. This is so pretty.
Looks great. Someone's asking with the simple syrup, do you think that if you put the fruit in it, as you mentioned, that it doesn't last as long in the refrigerator?
You know what? I think that it is kind of the same. I think it has about 3 weeks. I know simple syrup, so you can buy it at the store, you guys. I'm really into, like, I like to cook and make as much of my own stuff as I can. It's just, you know, I try to save any kind of bad stuff for Botox. That's okay. So everything else that I do, I try to use clean products. I try to eat clean. I try to exercise and do all that, but Botox is a whole different story. But no, actually it's about the same. And like I said, you really can do it with just about anything. So here is this. And then this recipe actually calls for some ginger ale on top. Okay. So you don't have to always do the ginger ale, but ginger ale is really, really good for you. I'm going to put this mint in, and you know what? I had a few extra blackberries here that I was going to put in it, but I think this turned out. So I would just take a spoon, stir it up a little bit, and then this is one that I think I will have with a straw. Doesn't that look pretty though?
Looks beautiful. Write in the chat if you want to go to Isha's tonight to taste all these drinks.
Come on over. You know what? You know what's funny? So I did make this before the pomegranate one. This actually tastes really similar to with the blackberries. Like it's not that much of a difference. If anything, it's, well, pomegranates aren't always sweet either. This is good. Ooh, yay, new ones for me. All right, who likes chocolate? Does everybody like chocolate? So I'm not a big sweet eater. Like I said, I don't like things super sweet, but when I do have them, I like them sweet. So now we are going to take our shaker. We're gonna make, get ice ready for this. Take our shaker, you're gonna put some ice in there. So this house we live in is an old beach house, like original 1950s windows, like we're real close to the beach. And when we wake up in the morning, you literally can squeegee sometimes the inside of the house because it's so wet and damp and cold. But it also has these cabinets, or the original cabinets that were built in here. So it's kind of funny because there's like no water hookup. So we have to get ice all the time. Like there's not a lot of conveniences here. So I have my ice. It calls for 1 ounce vodka, 1 ounce chocolate liqueur. So chocolate liqueur, or no, is it chocolate liqueur? Chocolate liqueur. I thought it was like a coffee liqueur because that's what I've been craving, because I did find a really good coffee liqueur. I'm actually using Kahlua. So here's something, is you can make this taste however you want it to taste. So Kahlua is like a chocolate liqueur and a little bit of coffee in it, but it also has rum in it. So, but it's not super, super heavy on alcohol. So I'm gonna stick that in there. And then, what else do I have? Oh, it's over here. So many glasses. And then this is cream to cacao, which is really inexpensive, I found. And I didn't even know that. So then it calls for 1 ounce of half and half. And you guys, I'm vegetarian. So I am actually going to try this with almond milk. Are you just like, oh boy, she was not kidding when she says she just makes it with whatever. That's how I do it. All right.
Everyone wants to know, is cream to cacao sweet?
It is sweet. It definitely, it has kind of that cocoa flavor to it. So again, here's the thing is you kind of have to play around with some of these. And that's what's fun when you use a shaker. Just pour a little bit out of your shaker, take a sip, and then just be like, all right, what do I need to add more of? Do I want one thing, or another, more in it? So I have a chilled martini glass. Do you feel like, ooh, you should shimmy with it? Or is everything just still moving even when I stop? Anybody feel like that? Ooh. Come on. So here's what we're gonna do that's super fun though. Oh, it smells so, so good. So then it calls for grated chocolate on top. And you guys, this is like a firecracker chocolate. It has spicy peppers in it. And I thought, ooh, how fun. I'm just gonna try this. So this is just, I don't even know what they call this. Does anybody know what they call this?
Grated
garlic. You can zest things with it, but it's small. And it's really great for everything. And so I'm just doing some of that on top. And then can you see how pretty that is on top? Oh my gosh, this is so, what a fun day. What a fun day. Ooh, that is so, so good.
Oh, it's called a microplane. Thank you, Sherry.
Oh.
Someone knew that's what it was called.
I knew there was a name for it, so thank you for that. Could the drink be made without any type of milk? Yes, I barely put any in there. So you could totally leave that out. A lot of your spread, gosh, that's so good. So it has a little bit of a coffee flavor because I use the Kahlua. So if you don't like the coffee flavor, you could, or then you would just get more of a chocolate liqueur, which, boy, what are some of those? I'm not totally sure. but I'm sure you could find them very easily. And the creme de cacao has a little bit of that chocolate flavor. But yes, Godiva, thank you. I'm like, sounds like I know it's there. All right, so I have a bonus for you. Do you guys have any questions on those three? So obviously the martini's just a one at a time you're kind of making, which in a shaker, you could make a couple. You saw it didn't take that much. The pomegranate punch or blackberry punch like I did, you could make a big batch of that along with that citrus sangria. And that citrus sangria is really a nice one, like if you're having a brunch and you're having people over, it's kind of like almost like a pre-made mimosa, but really light and nice. And you know, for me, I don't mind going through the hassle of juicing things because I like that flavor. It's not as sweet. So anytime you have something that that is, you know, out of a carton, there's always preservatives in it. There's always extra sugars. So again, I just try to make good choices when I can. So here's a bonus for you. I learned this because we took a whiskey class, my guy and I, from a amazing bartender in New York, because it's so amazing how we can all get together all the time like this now, right? And meet each other like we never got to before. And we were talking about, oh, everybody's going to have a hangover tomorrow after this. And he was like, oh, no, no, no. Here's the deal. Here's what you do. How many of you have had bitters before? So bitters are something that you normally put into a drink to give it a little bit of bitter edge. They're not as bitter as you would think. He said, and like you only put probably a couple dashes of bitters in a cocktail, sparkling water. And if you could do up to 10, it doesn't look that good. And then you can squeeze in some lemon or some lime if you want. Drink this. It's an amazing digestive, but it completely takes away your hangover. So that's your bonus for today. Any questions on that? You want it cold though. This is not cold right now. No questions? Okay, so just real quick, listen, this was your Galentine's Day fun. So I just have one quick little thing for you. So I'm a wardrobe consultant, along with being a drinker and just all around kind of party girl. I also I love to help women feel confident. So no matter what that means for you, like I said, posture I think is just key, because when we're in good posture, it's hard not to smile. Right? When you have good posture and you're walking into a room, you kind of get that whole package. So I also love to show women how you really don't have to have a lot of clothing, a lot of things in your closet to really have the right things for you, but it's about picking the right things for you that make you feel good. Gone are the days that you should be wearing things that don't make you feel good. I tell women when I work with them right away, take it out of your closet if you need to be able to see if you don't like something. Because why do we keep things? Why do we keep things? So this is a day tonight. I'm sweating though, so sorry. It's hot here. Okay, so this is what I have on right now. So I just have some little sandals on, and I actually layered this. I have just like a little summer dress on, right? It has pockets, which who doesn't love pockets, right? That just makes everything better all the time. So this is really kind of fun on its own. Very quickly, if I was getting ready to go out, here's what I would do. I'm simply going to change my bracelets for a cuff. Do you see it right there? All of a sudden, it already makes you go, oh, okay, that's a little bit more elevated. I am going to change out my flip-flops. I normally can do this pretty quick. I don't know, you might get a little show. I'll make you cocktails and then, woo, come on. These are the funnest shoes ever. I swear, I think, wait till you see them. I think I could run a marathon in them. Can anyone else run in high heels? Shelly, can you run in high heels?
No, ma'am.
Didn't they used to do a race in New York? There was a
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Okay.
Look at here running high heels.
Can you see them?
Oh yeah, they look great.
Woo, they're like gladiator heels. I'm okay with my earrings already. So a lot of times women are like, oh, I don't know how to create a waist. I don't have a waist, so I can't wear belts. I'm going to be like Wonder Woman at the end of this. This is great.
Peg can run in high heels. There you go.
Okay. Oh, I'm sure she can. I'm sure she can. So I'm going to pull this out a little bit so that it's more like a front tuck kind of thing. And I'm going to grab a clutch. So here's the outfit, right? And then I'm going to look at you guys real close for a second. put on some gloss. I'm ready for anything. How easy was that, right? So when you have the right pieces and you know how to use them and you're not afraid to try new things, here's what I love. And when Shelly introduced me, she said she loves when people take selfies. There's nothing better in my whole world than when a woman sends me a selfie, because that's a hard thing to do. But when you feel that good that you want to share it, that's what I want you to feel every day. That is exactly what I want you to feel every day. So, woo, happy Galentine's Day.
I want to make sure I throw in there that, you know, some of what Isha's showing you, you need to go visit her website. For those of you listening, Isha Inspired, ISHA, inspired.com, because she's got the best things to purchase on there. And like Peg just said, I love my Isha Inspired clothes, as we do all. So check it out. I'm sorry, Isha, I didn't mean to.
Oh, hey, no, please. Yeah. Oh, I'm so mad you just did that. No, no, thank you, ladies. Seriously, again, just, hey, this Valentine's Day, whether you have somebody special in your life or you don't, you are special in your life, and you have to take care of you. Okay. You have to give yourself love. You have to treat yourself sometimes. And treating yourself could be as simple as, hey, on Valentine's Day, I'm going to make myself one nice little cocktail, and I'm going to sit down and put on some nice music, and I'm just going to have a moment to myself. Oh, who wants moments like that? I would like a moment like that. But just love on yourself, because that is, hey, that is the key to happiness. Nothing else matters but loving yourself, because it rubs off on everybody else as you go. So thank you, ladies, so much. Oh, Peg just listed that I am linked in the GNL Marketplace. Yay. So you all are so fabulous. I love seeing you every week. I love being a part of the Girls Night Live team. I'm excited to see you next week. We have all kinds of fun for you next week.
And TD just private message. She said her birthday is on Valentine's Day and she's excited. So happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Early.
Cheers. I made this just for you.
Yes. Well, Isha,
have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much.
This was great. No surprise. We loved it. Can't wait to make some of these things. But for those of you joining us on live stream as well as Zoom, don't go anywhere if you're with us on Zoom. Live stream, we want to make sure that you come back next week on Monday. It's a Let's Chat, but that you have to sign up for. Manifesting the Love You Deserve. It's going to be fun. There's no recording. There's no live stream. So you have to go to girlsnightlive.com to sign up for it. And it's going to be a really fun experience. That's 4:00. And Tuesday, you get to learn to bake with rosé wine, raspberry rosé muffins. Nothing much more fun than that. So again, we're saying goodbye to our live stream audience. Thanks for spending your afternoon with Girls Night Live. Isha, thank you for spending your afternoon with us. And Zoom people, hang in there. We're going to stay with you when this shuts off. Have a great weekend.